So as we come towards the end of the year, you know, big picture, I feel really good about the journey. You know, I was thinking about it today. You know, we still got a ways to go and don't know if I'm going to get to that like 100-pound down mark. But having said that, 60-pound down, you know, like 50, 60-pound down right now is nothing to sneer at, you know? So big picture, I'm feeling good. And obviously, you know, last month, I had to make a tough decision. As many of you know, as most of you know, this has been the hardest year of my life. From battling injury after injury to being in the hospital for 2 weeks with my father and being by his side while he passed a bit unexpectedly. This has just been the hardest year of my life. And I'm doing a lot of thinking and a lot of praying. And my boy Duro said, look, when you pray, you'll know the answer will come in. And it was clear that after doing a lot of thinking, I realized sometimes you gotta choose yourself over the storyline. And this year has left me beat up physically, mentally, and emotionally. So I made the tough decision to defer my redemption race in Honolulu until 2026. I'm happy with that decision, and it just really stemmed from I was in Milan, right? I had this opportunity to go to Europe for work, and I knew I wanted to go to Milan, and then given everything going on, I had my mom come out and we stayed, and I trained. I mean, y'all see it, like I did 5Ks, I got 10,000, minimum 10,000 steps plus a day, not much more than that. I was on my feet all day, like I felt great physically. I just was sitting in the Starbucks Reserve in Milan, and I'm like, damn, I don't have my new shoes that I've broken in. I needed to get a new watch, like a Garmin watch. I needed to make sure my headphones were working. I needed to finish my hydration, but like all this stuff was hitting me at once, and not a panic attack, but I was kind of freaking out. So I hit some of my friends up, and they all said, look, man, like it's your choice. And talk to Trevor, talk to Ron as well. And they're like, you're gonna do the right thing, but know that if you need to spend time with your family and you need to push this redemption in the marathon to next year, that's the right choice as well. So I actually talked to my boy Duro, and he's like, look, you pray on it. You know, I'm a man of faith, and sat in the church, felt called to pray on it. And it's not like there was a lightning bolt that hit me that's like, yo, you're gonna drop out or, you know, defer the marathon. I kind of just felt like, hey, just let go, just put your worries down. And then when I walked out, I was like, yeah, I'm moving it to next year. And right when I did that, got a text saying, hey, we need you in Madrid. And so, you know, when things line up, you know it's the right decision. It was a tough decision, and that was my call. So it was tough, you know. I wanted to finish. I had this vision of hugging my dad when I finally finished and got my redemption, and that changed, obviously, as I've said in previous episodes and said a lot, you know. But I really wanted that feeling, that cathartic feeling. I just knew this wasn't the moment. But it was, I need to be with my family, and I need to heal, and I need to do what's right. So made that decision, announced it, talked to the Honolulu Marathon, and just really big shout out to Frederick and everyone at the marathon. They were, I mean, no questions asked. I emailed and I said, hey, you might know me, you know, I was the last place finisher a few years ago, got injured last year, I wanted to finish this year. Immediately got a reply from Frederick, who's an amazing guy, and said, hey, Andy, I totally understand. Please accept my condolences. And because I had explained what happened, right? I said, hey, my father passed away. Super quick response from Honolulu Marathon team, from Frederick. And they were able to defer my entry in both the Mary Mile the day before, which is just a quick, fun 1 mile shakeout, and then the Honolulu Marathon. So I'm gonna plan to do it next year and just stay focused on the weight loss and health grind. And I think for me, it was just incredible to see everyone give me good advice and real talk, whether it was my mom, whether it was, you know, Ron or Trevor or Dudo or other people in my life that I reached out to, and just got nothing but love and positivity and real talk, like, hey man, you can do it, but if you want to push it, that's also the right choice. So, well, I'm sad I couldn't do the marathon this year. I know I made the right choice. I was able to have 12 days in Milan and Bergamo with my mom. shoot a little bit for my passion project. Shout out Dimitri, shout out Casey, shout out Bergamo Lions. Then I was able to go to Spain with my mom in 9 days. Started in Madrid, went to Toledo, Sevilla, Cordoba, back to Sevilla, back to Madrid. Had an incredible experience. It was cool for my mom to see me speaking Spanish and really seeing the level of fluency I had. We took some tours in Spanish. It was just dope. And my mom had an amazing time. And when we were done, she said, thank you so much for this opportunity and for letting me come out and travel with you, and of course. And then when I got back, my friend Pono had reached out to me from Honolulu and said, hey man, we miss your aloha, your aloha spirit. So shout out to Pono. And then my boy Roger kept saying, would love to see you, but totally understand. And then he was saying, hey, what's your bib number? And I think he wanted, I thought he wanted to get my bib and like preserve it for me. So we were talking and he said, oh, I couldn't get it, but I want to send you a little Christmas card. What's your information? So he sent me a package and I thought it was going to come in like a week. So I said, send it to New York. It came and my mom opened it and she said, there's 2 medals in here. There's a Mary Miles shirt. There's another like marathon swag. And then there's like a finisher result paper. And I was going, what's going on? He must have just got me the medals. And also my bib with Andy on it for everything. So, Roger, or Lokelo is his name in Hawaii, had organized people to, I think he did the Mary Mile for me, and then he had 2 people run the marathon for me, and he had another one back up. And I was just shocked. Like I couldn't put into words what that meant, but just when you do this racing and this life and pushing yourself to be able to inspire people and to create these true lasting friendships where people will run a marathon in your honor, I don't like know what to say. It's just like an incredible moment. And I told Roger, I said, I couldn't really put this into words. I just can't wait to see him next year and give him a hug and thank all the people. So I'm still thinking of a little thank you gift. But I was just, again, I'm struggling, right? Like I'm a man of many words. And I just want to say thank you so much to Lindsay from the Honolulu Marathon, and then to Brooke, and funnily enough, Andy, who ran the marathon for me, and then to Jack, who was our backup if they needed him, to Frederick, and of course to Roger, so to Lokelo. Thank you. I don't know. It means a lot. That's the meaning of the Aloha spirit, that's what this is all about. So I'll be back next year and I'll get us some shaved ice and maybe a couple drinks and we'll go from there. But, what's next? Well, I'm going to take about 6 or 7. I had to do it. So I had to take about 6 or 7 weeks. But I got to take a little time to think, but know that I got cooking something up. But we're going to keep on this journey. We're going to take a week to spend some meaningful time with family. But I got my 12 days of 5K goal for the month. So 12 5Ks or longer for December, 21 strength training workouts. So even though we have days we're going to enjoy ourselves, we're still going to stay on the grind. And just know I'm cooking up something real special for 26 because the job's never finished. So y'all have to wait and see, but just know I'm going to keep it moving. And I'm ready to keep it moving.
I really believe in Andy because he's committed. Andy goes in with a plan. Perseverance is a word that I would describe Andy with. Andy's very goal-oriented. He gets after it. I mean, you look at any great journey, Super Bowl winner, marathon winner, Olympic gold, everybody's got setbacks along the way, and there's a story that nobody knows when stuff like that happens, and Andy is fighting through that, and I think that's pretty cool. He's still battling it, and again, with some setbacks through the year. So yeah, Andy still does it.
I think for me, for this 105 and 25 jobs never finished journey, I can talk a lot, but what I learned most was, continue to learn about, was perseverance and how I carry on in my darkest moments. And I think that if I could sum the year up, the journey up, in one word, is perseverance. We 60 pounds down, we cut time off our PR. We had amazing, joyful moments with friends, amazing, joyful moments with family, and continued to train through our darkest moments. And while I didn't hit my goals necessarily, I think the lessons I've learned were equally as life-changing, and I'm gonna keep going because the job's never finished. I want to talk a little bit about the idea of loyalty and of sticking to a plan, right? I was watching a clip yesterday from the Jets game where the announcer was complimenting Jets fans on being loyal over 15 years despite no playoff appearances and a terrible ROI, right? But it got me thinking, like, for real, about, hey, what does it mean to be loyal, not just to a team or a person or a lifestyle, but a plan, and to yourself. And for me, that's, hey, there are gonna be setbacks. You're gonna be ahead in your training. You're gonna be cruising to the 100 pounds, and something horrible and devastating may happen. But that doesn't mean you give up. It means you stay faithful to your plan, and every day you can be on that plan, you're on that plan until you can completely lock in again. And another thing, like, as I close the year, I just think about is, like, this shirt's 2XL, these pants are XL. I'm in, like, large XL pants, 2XL, 3XL shirts. Starting the year, we talking like 5X, man, not so much 5X, but like 4XLT, 3X is tight. Some 2X would maybe fit a little, but just think of the progress we made, It's been a grind. And I think, there are times when people are like, oh, how, like, here's a video of someone that lost 400, 300 pounds a year. And I'm like, well, I don't know, like, I'm gonna go on my pace, and I don't think 60 pounds is anything to sneer at, and I have to kind of like remind myself people mean well, people care, and that's why they're saying this. So I think it's always interesting, but it's okay, because I'm not stopping. What's my New Year's resolution? Can't say what your New Year's resolution is. I think the biggest thing is stay focused, stick to the plan, have perspective, and stay on the grind, because the job's never finished. So I'll see y'all in 26, and thank you for rocking with me. I think just this whole experience has shown me how much my community, both here, family by blood, chosen family, friends, people I know through work and different experiences, everyone I met, and people from all over, just everything, it's really shown me that, like, hey, we're one family, and let's stay positive, and let's have a great start to the year. So I love y'all, and whatever you're going through, just know you'll get through it, and we're here together. So I love y'all. 105 and 25, signing off like John Cena, but the job's never finished.